How do you know the difference between lust and love? Okay, so let me change what I'm saying it. How do you know when you are experiencing the difference? How do you know when you are experiencing the difference between lust and love? Does anybody know? Anybody know? Hand up. Okay. Okay. Where? I don't know. He got that jacket on. He like he finna kill everything up in there. Okay. I'm gonna take a chance on the Unabomber. Sits in. What's the difference?
The difference between love and lust, love is more like unconditionally. So you can hate the person and then love them again. But as for lust, you just lust them for that one moment. And then after you get it, it's gone. And you...
That's good. Give him love. That's good. Somebody else. Somebody else. Baby girl. Baby girl. Okay, what's the difference?
Love is like you basically like you're sacrificing for them, and it's more emotional than physical.
Hand clap, hand clap, hand clap. Somebody else. My man, little man. Pass this to him.
Love is more like where when you see the person, like you feel how much you love them in your heart. And like lust is like where you see the person, all you can think of is sex.
Some of y'all need to hear that again. He said the difference is that love is when you can feel that person in your heart. Lust is when you see that person and all you can think about is sex. That was good. How old are you, man? Did someone say not necessary? No, that's good if somebody said it. Did you say that? That's good. Let's dialogue. That's good. Does anybody have an opposing view to what he said? Okay. Okay, one more man then. Move. Okay, where you at?
First of all, I want to say I don't have an opposing view. They just put me up here. But, can I say my take on that? All right, I think love is like, it's unselfish. Like, for love, you would do anything for that person, and you won't, like, you will give them your last, like, for, like, lust. It's just unselfish. You're, like, in it for you, like, for that moment, and do whatever you got to do for you, and then get on. But, like, love, you stay with that person, and you, like, sacrifice.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Yo, fellas, let me say one more time about the porn piece. Listen. The reason why it is so important to learn this truth now is because the longer you stay engaged in those things, when you do find that special someone, it's going to be very difficult to transition and try to get your mind to now think in a sacrificial way. Okay? You have to understand that that's very, 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 very important. Very important. One more hand up. One more hand. My man. Where? Okay. From a female, if you don't mind. Last one.
I wanted to say something about love and sacrifice for the girls. Love, when you love somebody, it doesn't mean sacrificing your body or your relationship with God. Because I hear a lot of people saying love is sacrifice. Love isn't sacrificing your virginity or your time spent with God or your time doing other things. So I wanted to make that straight, that everybody understands that love isn't that kind of sacrifice.
We think they did, but thank you very much for the extra. Thank you. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Listen. Here's a main one right here. If you ever want to know if you are in a relationship that is driven by love or driven by lust, if you ever need to know if you are in a relationship with somebody that is either driven by love or by lust, let me tell you right now how you will always be able to tell it. And the reference is, somebody read 1 John 4:18. Somebody read 1 John 4:18 for me quick. Somebody find it. 1 John 4:18. Same book, just just like 2 chapters over. You got it? 1 John 4:18. Listen, y'all.
There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear involves torment. But he who fears has not been made perfect in love.
Let me break down what she just said. If you want to know if you are in a relationship that is either love-driven or lust-driven, you will know it because it will not include fear. I'm going to say it one more time. If you want to know if you are in a relationship that is driven by love or lust, you will know because it is not driven by fear. Great question. Great question. That lets me know that you're engaged. If you are in a relationship with somebody and that relationship keeps you always worried about what they're doing, where they are, if they're cheating on you, if they are disrespecting you, if you find yourself always stressed out, always afraid, always wondering, always questioning, I'm telling you right now, it is a relationship that is driven more by lust than it is love. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because if that other person has a genuine love for you, they are making watch this, y'all. Take it from your boy, 14 years of marriage, same chick. Made a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes. I had to learn a lot. I had no pops. All right? Listen to your boy. Y'all know me. Y'all know we keep it 100 here. I tell you my dirt. When you are in a relationship with somebody and they are giving up themselves, it creates less room for you to be afraid. Does that make sense what I'm saying? If you are always in a relationship that you are living afraid, always wondering what they're doing, that means that is more lust-driven than love. Not necessarily on your part. I'm talking about the spirit of the relationship. Does anybody understand what I'm saying so far? Just a little bit. Okay. So let me go a little bit further. My wife told me that the reason why she has never given me problems when it comes to traveling, like me and Tammy have never had an argument about me traveling. Me and Tammy have never, we done have some arguments, but it ain't never been about me traveling, about me doing music, about me being gone and all that. And you know why? She said, because you know what, baby? You have always made me feel secure. I ain't never had to worry about no hickeys. I ain't had to show up at a hotel and see some panties you done stuck up under the hotel bedroom. You've never come home with a condom pack that's barely open or whatever. She said, you have never done anything to create an environment for me to be afraid. You feel where I'm going? When you are with a guy that genuinely loves you, he is creating an environment to reinforce how he feels about you so that you do not have to have any responses in fear. Same for a woman. If you're in a relationship with a woman and that woman is giving her heart and her all to you, rarely is that man going to be wondering and living afraid of what's happening in that relationship. If you are in a relationship that has more fear in it than peace, it is a lustful relationship. Because remember, lust is not always sex-driven. Lust is self-driven. Let me say it again. Remember, lust is not necessarily always sex-driven. It is self-driven. Now, lift your hand real quick if you need to just kind of just get some clarity on this because I think this is a really dope piece. And it's a really dope point. If it don't make sense, because some of you may think, well, Kirk, it ain't my fault if she's an insecure woman. And some of that could be a fair argument because everybody does bring luggage to a relationship, right? You know, it's like, Kirk, I can't help it if this fool is insecure. It's like I'm the only chick on his arm. I'm always there for this fool, but this fool, he insecure. He always worried about himself. What you think about me? You don't call me. It's like, he driving me crazy. And that ain't my fault that this nigga insecure. And I understand that. But guess what? It's the same thing that happened even in the Bible. The reason why the Bible wrote that is because most people that were becoming Christians, they were coming from legalism. Oh, man, this is getting good. Hold on, just real quick. I'll stay with me just real quick. Remember, most of these people were Jews that they were writing to. And Jews were all about laws. Certain things you couldn't eat. If you want a pork chop sandwich, you can't even get no pork chop sandwich. You want some bacon, you can't even eat no bacon. If you want to wear some shorts on Saturday, well, you know, cute little short set with some flip-flops, you couldn't do that on Saturday. You had to wear the robe with the yarmulke. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and it's hot, 107 degrees, I think you funky got the robe on. And so it was a lot of laws, a lot of legalism, certain things you couldn't do. And so when now Now we're talking about Jesus coming, and you ain't got to do all that stuff to be saved, and you can live in grace. Well, that was scary for them, because guess what? Real love will always be risky. So what I'm saying is that even if you meet somebody that's insecure, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. You meet somebody that's insecure, your genuine love can begin to turn the heart of an insecure person. But now, it may take time, it may be a minute, but when somebody sees you giving up yourself for the sake of them, when you meet a girl and all she's used to is Negroes trying to dip on her with her breasts and her booty, it may take time for her to think, okay, he ain't trying to get none. Okay, he got another, okay, is he gay? All right. Okay, what's wrong? Do I stink? What's going on? What? Now, it may take her a minute to begin to trust, but trust can happen if you are loving and not lusting. Hand.
I think like
talk to us, Barry White. Go and talk to us.
I don't want to like argue, but I don't necessarily agree with that. For the simple fact that like nowadays, males and females, like especially our culture, we're really, really smart. So like I know guys that will like do and say whatever, not even necessarily to have sex, but a girl may like, she may buy you stuff. And so a girl will have this in her head that, oh yeah, he goes to church with me and he's good and all this stuff, when he's just using her. And he's not going to start no argument or nothing. So he's going to create this false sense of security, and she's going to think that it's love when it's really not. So I feel like the only way that you can really like know that you're in love or whatever is by, you have to first get like a very strong relationship with God and be comfortable with yourself. And then you got to make sure that person, if you see evidence of them like at least striving to have like a true, strong relationship with God, like not just going to church, but really studying and focusing and trying and struggling and fighting, then that's how you know. But you can't just say.
Trying to figure out what we're disagreeing on, though.
Just say, because you said like, oh, when everywhere I move, you go like this.
I'm trying to follow you if you stand still.
But like,
you want a piece of meat? No.
Like, you just said like, you know you're in love because of an absence of fear, and that's not necessarily true, because I know plenty of dudes that intentionally like tell girls everything they want to hear, and then a girl will be like, oh yeah, I love him, he's the one.
Okay. So then let me explain what I'm saying. First of all, I didn't say it. Hold on. The Bible said that perfect love casts out all fear. And so here's what I'm saying, is that you are right. If a person has a relationship with the Lord, well, no. But I agree with you. If a person has a relationship with the Lord, if that person is doing things and it has an ulterior motive, don't you know that the Holy Spirit will allow that to come out? And me and you both know, whether it's a good football game, a good basketball game, or a good movie, all games do have an end. You see what I'm saying? Gotcha. So that's what I'm saying. Everything you're saying, I totally agree. And so maybe what I needed to do is maybe just expound a little bit more. But I agree with you, because you're right. If you have a relationship with the Lord, you can be able to spot game. But what I'm saying is that if a person is giving you unconditional love has what connected to it? Fruit. Because love is a gift of the Spirit. And you'll be able to see the fruit. And the fruit will last longer than just a couple of weeks. Let me tell you something. If a dude's main goal is some booty, most men in here can tell you there is probably a 6 to 7 week max. Okay, he said about 30 days. It's about 30 days. He said it's about a 30-day max on the booty. Okay, we'll give you about a 30-day max on the booty. All right? 30, 60, 90-day max on the booty. Then after that, it's just going to come out what his deal is. And so what I'm saying to you is that when you have a real love relationship, it is not driven by fear. You do not live afraid of what that person is going to do because you see more of the sacrifice and you begin to see the fruit. Now, one thing I definitely dig what my man is saying, do not look for the fruit in a week. Ladies, y'all got to be careful about letting stuff be so rosy and so pretty so quick. Let that fool have some time to show you his spots. Let it have time. Love is not birthed in a week. You can't be falling in love with somebody in like 30 to 60 days. And don't love nothing or nobody that doesn't prove itself. You hear that? Don't love nothing or nobody that doesn't prove itself. Okay, so I'm almost finished. Y'all still with me? Y'all still with me? Y'all still with me? Okay. How many of y'all remember the story that I told you about the accident? The accident that I had several years ago. Okay, just real quick. Most of y'all, so most hands didn't go up. Shh. Okay, just quick. I'm going to close on this. I'm going to let y'all go on. So I was 26, and me and Tammy had been married for like 9 months. And I had this very tragic accident. It was 1996, where we were in a concert. And the stage was darkly lit in the back going to the dressing rooms. And what I'm doing is I'm telling you everything I was told because I don't remember any of it. I was told that I'd finished introducing Yolanda Adams, I believe, was walking to my dressing room, and a guy that sings with me was walking with me. He said he turned around to speak to somebody, and he turned back around, and I was gone. And there was a curtain that was there. And he said that he stuck his foot in between the curtain, and there was nothing there. And so they ran, they turned on the lights, and they found me like in a puddle of blood. And they said that there was a pipe organ down in this pit, and they said that my head barely missed that pipe organ. And basically, I fell 10 feet on my head. And I was in a coma. And they rushed my wife in, and my wife was 8 months pregnant. And my wife had to come, and the doctors began to tell her that your husband fell on the left side of his brain. He fell on the left side of his brain. And so he's got brain contusions on the left side of his brain. And he may not be able to talk. He may not be able to do music. And then mind you, she's a newlywed, and she's pregnant. And they're telling her that there's a great possibility that her husband is probably going to be a vegetable. He's not going to be able to do music. He's not going to be able to do anything. He's not going to be able to talk. Now, that's probably not what she was thinking when she was standing at that altar. And so when she said the word, "till death do us part," that probably was not in her mind. But my wife told me that at that point, she realized that she's probably going to have to spend the rest of her life with her new husband this way. Probably have to roll him around, help him get in and out of the bathtub, off and on the toilet, which is embarrassing for a man. You don't want your wife watching you, scoop me on the toilet. I need some more toilet paper, baby, But guess what? There was a vow that she made. And she made in sickness and health, till death do us part. And she said that she was faced with that reality. And that reality came sooner than what she would have ever thought. And so she was willing to sacrifice what she thought she was marrying now for what God was giving her. And that was hard. Men, young men, if you love that girl, if you love yourself, learn now how to sacrifice what you feel for the sake of her being all that God created her to be. Young ladies, sacrifice some of your material desires, some of your things. You know, some of you ladies say that you want a good man, but then you got a lot of stipulations. He got to look a certain way. He got to make a certain amount of money. He got to be a certain height, which knocks me out of the game, you know. And, you know, all these different things. But if you're a good dude, and if he loved God, he may be a little swagless, but you can help him learn a little swag. And what'll be ill is you'll be able to brag about it. You can say, I met this little nigga, he didn't have no swag, and I gave him all this swag. His swag is all because of me, boo-boo. And then the greatest part of love is that if you say that you are a Christian, if you say that you love Jesus, there needs to be some sacrifice. There needs to be some sacrifice. Every club, every cuss word, every drink, every party, every choice doesn't have to be yours. Because your friends need to see a difference. Your friends need a difference. And it's a coincidence that that difference is you. You are different. That's why you don't fit in. And even when you try to fit in, that's why it's kind of whack when you try to fit in. And that's why it's a little over the top when you be trying to cuss. And it's like when you cuss, it's like it's really over the top. And it's like, okay, this is getting scary. She cussing like for nothing. You know, y'all drop the McDonald's. Yeah, let me get some more fries, and give me some more root. And you just cussing for no reason. You know, it's like because it ain't naturally you. You try to do some of the dances, and when you do some of the dances at the club, it just look wrong. And some of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of y'all got a girlfriend that you've been needing to pull to the side and tell her, you don't look cute when you do that dance. Because you're different. And love is different. You're different. And God made you to be different. If you learn something, make some noise.
I mean, that's decent, but that ain't no truth. That ain't no truth right there. He was talking about Takeover.